If you're concerned about the market today, we are in a much better place. Mas maganda ang figures natin ngayon kaysa dati. Even if we have a high inflation rate in 2018, that's the way the cycle moves. Yung stock market na ay bumabagsak, di ba, because of the inflation.
Okay.
But we've seen this before. In fact, in 2005, mataas din inflation natin noon eh. And even in 2008. And if you compare our economy now versus 2005 and 2008, we are in a much better place. In fact, in 2005, our economy is only about 5 trillion pesos worth nominal GDP. In 2008, our economy was about 7 trillion pesos worth. And now, our economy is about 17 trillion pesos. Mas malaki na economy natin ngayon. There are more players, there are more companies, there are more participants in the market. Our capacity is much bigger. OFW remittances was only $10 billion. E ngayon, ano na? $28 billion. Our foreign reserves was only about $18 billion at that time. Yung foreign exchange reserves, yung pambayad natin ng imports. Ngayon, it's about $75 billion. Much, much bigger. And if you compare our stock market during that time, our stock market was only about 1,900 on the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. And it has grown since then. Now it's about 7,000, di ba? About triple. So, this volatility we are experiencing, itong up and down in the stock market of about 20% pa nga, is a normal occurrence. If you look at the emerging markets, in other countries, ganyan talaga ang galaw ng stock market. That is really the normal behavior of a stock market. More specifically, our country, the Philippines. Ang stock market, ang Philippine Stock Exchange Index natin, it moves up and down by 18% for the past 15 years. 18%. That is the volatility of the market. Yun yung akyat at baba ng market on average. It moves faster than that before pa. But that's only an average, yung 18%. Ganun na talaga yan. That is how it really works. But, having said that, however, yung stock market really gives you the best return. So, in fact, for the past 15 years, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index averaged about 12.18% and a volatility of 18%. So, if you want to really beat the high inflation that we are experiencing now, if you want your investments to perform better than the inflation, stick your investments in funds that are in the stocks, funds that are invested in the stock market. Take for instance yung mga balance funds. Balance funds with fixed income and equities, in stocks. For the past 15 years, ang average niya is about 9%. Yung equity funds naman had an average about 11.8%. Yung equity index funds did the best, for the past 15 years, average about 12.6% return. And during that time, inflation averaged only about 4%. Even if it had a high inflation rate in 2005, about 7.6%, in 2008, it was about 8.2%. Ganun kataas din yung inflation noon. And we were affected by the same problems like weather, like commodity prices, like oil and rice. The same thing that we are experiencing today. Ang sinasabi ko talaga, ganun din dati, ganun din ngayon, but we are now in a much better place. Take for instance, for the past 5 years, our stock market was volatile also. Itong past 5 years, the market dropped from the peak by more than 20%, 4 times. So, in that short period of time, market went up and down, and we experienced the same thing. In fact, in 2013, when we had this taper tantrum, when yung nagbabawas ng bond buying in US, the world was affected, and our stock market went down by 25% in 2013. In 2016 naman, there was an issue on the Chinese yuan and global growth concerns, which is exactly what's happening now. No? We are also concerned about the growth in the global economy. In 2016, our stock market went down by about 25%. In 2017 naman, when we had these election jitters and there were some rebalancing of portfolios to the US assets because of the strength of the US dollar, our stock market also went down by 20% from about 8,100 to 6,500. So ngayon, when we experience this drop from 9,100 to about 7,000 or about 24%, it is a normal occurrence. This is how the market really works. But having said that nga, the stock market gives us the best returns. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're managing your portfolio, do not lose sight of the purpose of that investment. You really have to manage your risk. At pag-manage ng risk ganito, you have short term, you have medium term, and you have long term part of your portfolio. I-allocate mo yon for the purpose it has, for the objectives that you want it for. So, when you invest for short term, yung mga very conservative lang investments. For your medium term, yung a little more moderate risk yan. But for our long term investment, more particularly for the stock market, these are really for higher risk investment but with higher return. And with the volatilities that we are experiencing, do not be afraid. Kasi pang long term naman yung perang yan di ba? And it's really giving you the best return. Doon sa mga investments mo naman ngayon, those with cash, my suggestion is to buy large companies. Yung mga big caps. Kasi yan yung mga bumagsak recently And now, they are trading at below fair value. And because of the uncertainty that we are experiencing, mas malaking discount niya ngayon versus their fair value. At pag nag-reverse ang market ngayon, yan ang unang papasukan ng foreign. Yan ang unang papasukan ng fund manager. And we expect the large cap to lead the market. So, for those with cash, my suggestion, concentrate on the big caps. Para mas madali, buy index funds. Kasi index funds, it already represents 30 large companies in the stock exchange. So, mas mabilis ka mag-ride ng market. It's easier for you to choose your investment. Now, for those naman that are already invested, yung sinasabing naipit, my suggestion is to rebalance your portfolio. So, shift your portfolio from the third liners to the first liners. Shift your investments and do an asset allocation of your portfolio. Do not forget, in this volatile market, huwag tayong matakot. Let us not be afraid. And let us continue investing. And do not lose sight of the purpose of that investment. It's really for our long-term goals and for our long-term needs.